The major achievement of EuCanImage project is that we managed to build a large-scale, GDPR-compliant and fair repository with cancer imaging coming from over 20,000 patients from whole Europe. We gathered data from 5 different countries on 3 different cancer types with benign disease as well, normal studies with negative outcomes, so no confirmation of cancer, and we supplemented it with multitude of clinical parameters, pathology parameters, and even some genetic information. So that's the first such a huge resource available to the researchers and doctors to push forward all the research in cancer imaging. EuCAIM project is a large-scale project funded by the European Commission. It concentrates on unifying multiple large-scale repositories developed in projects such as EuCanImage. In there, we integrate data from the repositories and we integrate all the tools that were developed in the previous projects. So EuCAIM project is built upon experiences as well as infrastructure and data that we gathered in all the smaller projects that came into the EuCAIM project. What we are bringing into the EuCAIM project from EuCanImage is a huge repository of over 20,000 individual cases of patients with breast, colorectal and liver primary and secondary tumors, a lot of normal patients with no disease, benign disease, and multitude of different types of data associated with these imaging studies. We also bring our ontology. It's based on FHIR, which is pretty simple and straightforward protocol for sending the data and data exchanges. And it's already mapped to hyperontology in EuCAIM project. And we bring a lot of expertise on building large-scale projects, repositories, and make them usable. When you think about the EuCAIM as a repository, pan-European repository, you have data from multiple countries, from multiple patients of different backgrounds, different origins, different ethnicities, with multitude of different diseases, different types of cancer, different types of imaging. It all allows you to push research in cancer imaging and clinical medicine, I would claim, forward in unprecedented scale. It's a huge, very well curated data set that allows research that was not possible before we started this project. The other advantage of this project is the speed. So when we were designing the EuCAIM project, we thought about the difficulties we had with previous EU-funded projects. So a lot of time in all those projects is data collection. Before you can start any research into AI or any other methods used for development of tools for healthcare, you need a lot of data. And most of the projects previously had to concentrate first on legal agreements, gathering the data, drafting the parameters, collecting information. It takes 2, 3, 4 years for every project to collect it. In here, you have the platform that you can query for the data. And this data is already there. It doesn't have to be digged out or pulled from somewhere. It's already there. What you need is a good idea. You need to apply for the data. You need an ethical committee consent. You need the consent of the project coordinator and the data providers. And that's it. The data is already there. You can start like in 2-3 months from application till you get the data. So your project, instead of going for 4 years, can be completed in a year or 2. And that's a huge advantage.